Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So as you guys can see by the title of this video, this is another thrifting tips video. Now I have previously done one of these like a year or two ago, so I can leave that video down below and in the eye as well. This one is just going to be a little bit more in depth, some more like specific tips on how to find those really good pieces. In my last video I covered things like taking your time, shopping the men's section, always making sure you're looking over clothing and stuff before you buy, and trying everything on. So I feel like they're the real like basic things. So if you guys are new to my channel and you don't know, I am currently 23 and I started thrifting when I was 12. So I have learned a lot in my time of thrifting. I've literally been doing it for like half my life almost at this point, and I definitely started off not very strong, not really knowing what to do, but yeah, I've definitely grown and found a lot of tips and tricks along the way. So I just want to preference that it really doesn't matter where you are. If you're in a big city, if you're in a small town, you can still find really good things. I think people get this idea in their head that if they're from a small town they're not gonna find things. So in this video I'm going to be kind of telling you guys tips for in-store thrifting. If you guys do want me to do a separate one of these for online thrifting, then I can as well, because I tend to thrift in different ways. Come up with 15 tips and I've written them all down on my phone, so if I'm looking down at my phone and not specifically looking at the camera, then that is why. Yeah, I always get people telling me that I managed to find really good things in the op shops, so I just wanted to share with you guys the things that I do when I go into an op shop or a thrift store. Yeah, for those of you that maybe want to start thrifting and you don't really know where to start, or for those of you that have tried thrifting and just never seem to find the good things. I actually didn't plan this today, but my t-shirt that I'm wearing is actually thrifted as well. So if you guys want to know my more in-depth thrifting tips, then just keep watching. So my first tip that I wanted to share with you guys is a pretty important one, and that is to go on a weekday and go early. So a lot of the time the weekdays are less busy than the weekends, and especially if you go like first thing in the morning, a lot of the time you get like first pick of the lot. Sometimes it does help to kind of know when the thrift stores or the op shops that you're going to restock, because some of them want to restock through the day and some of them will restock at night. I personally have found a lot of really good things when I've gone on a weekday and gone in the morning. So usually I kind of like to get to the op shops around like 10:30, 11. That way I really have a lot of time to really look through everything. Also, if you're going in the weekend when everyone else is going, it's going to be really crowded, and I feel like you're not going to be able to like flick through the racks very well. And obviously if there's more people, that means there's less things for you guys to find, if that makes sense. Okay, hopefully I'm in kind of the same position. My battery just died, so I had to change it, and I'm hoping the lighting's okay. Today's really all over the place. Like out that way it's grey and out that way it's blue. So okay, I've just moved the camera ever so slightly because it's looking a little bit dark. Always look by the counter in like the little baskets with like the random items that kind of just like sit on the counter. Look behind the counter as well, because sometimes they do have more things displayed. Sometimes they are a little bit more valuable than some of the other things that they have out on the floor. Always look on top of shelves as well. I have found a lot of things by looking in like the little baskets by the counter. That's where I have found my Calvin Klein sunglasses case. It's where I found my Coach wallet. It's where I found my cake topper for mine and Phil's wedding. A lot of the time people, they kind of just go up to pay and they don't really have a look at kind of what is surrounding the counter, or even just like the little baskets by the counter, because they just don't think there'll be anything for them in there. Don't assume that. Always look, because you can end up finding hidden gems and really nice things. And again, always look on the top of shelves. I found a really nice pink and wooden vase from looking on the top shelf. I almost missed it because I only just glanced up at the last minute and saw it. I also found our guest book for our wedding on top of a shelf as well. Most people when they go into op shops, they just look at eye level. They don't look up or down, because sometimes as well under racks they have little like baskets and stuff that you can pull out and have a rummage through. That is something I have only just learnt in like the past month of thrifting, is especially if the op shop is quite small, or they will stack things quite high. So my next tip is to do with denim. So whether you're thrifting like denim jeans, denim jackets, know what shade of denim you like. If you know what shade of denim that you like and you gravitate towards, it'll be so much easier when you go into an op shop and go to the jeans section. You can just go straight to the like washes of jeans that you know you're gonna wear and that you like. So for me, I tend to do a bit more of a darker denim. Like at the moment I'm wearing these like little flare jeans, which again I actually thrifted, did not plan that, but these are originally from Country Road. I really like kind of like a medium blue denim, and then I really like just straight light wash denim that's still got a bit of color in it. Sorry that I keep moving. I feel like the lighting was just getting really dark because now it's just gone full grey. So I've just pulled out my ring light, so hopefully this is looking a little bit better. So again, I always do this whenever I go to an op shop. I look at the jeans section and I just pull out the jeans that are in the shades of denim that I really like. And again, it just saves a lot of time. Have a list to use as a guide of things that you are looking for. So again, this is something I have only just started doing, but if you're going into an op shop with a specific purpose, or you're wanting to find a few things, going in with a list will just help you to save time. Again, I have a list on my phone of things that I am wanting to thrift, but I won't just stick to the list, and if there's things that I like that aren't on the list, I will still get them. I just kind of use it as a guide just to kind of help me when I'm going through the different sections. So I thought I'll give you guys a little bit of insight into the things that I'm wanting to thrift. A black Calvin Klein jumper, a Country Road jumper, a Louis Vuitton bag, a Prada bag, light wash flare jeans. Like I said, I managed to find these jeans that I'm wearing at the moment. They are slightly flared, but they are in a darker wash, so I really want to try and find a pair of light wash flare jeans. The flare jeans are really in at the moment, but I just don't know if I can pull off the trend, so I don't really want to spend $60 at Glassons to buy a brand new pair if I don't know if they're gonna look good on me. A Louis Vuitton suitcase, khaki pants, because my previous pair of khaki pants got too small for me. White platform Supergas. I have seen these before, but they were in a size that was like 2 sizes too big. Did manage to find a pair of black ones, so I really want a pair of white ones. Graphic tees, a knit sweater vest, because again, sweater vests have been like everywhere, so I really want to try out the trend, but don't want to spend like $50 on a knit sweater vest. And a Kate Spade bag. And then a couple of things that were on my list that I found were cute fitted tops and a light wash baggy Levi's denim jacket. Also, don't expect to find everything on your list either. Just kind of write it down and just kind of use it as a guide. If you believe in law of attraction, then maybe that could be something that could help you. I personally don't really believe in all that kind of stuff, but yeah, just thought I'd mention that just in case you do. So my next tip, I feel like I briefly touched on in my last video, but that is to look in multiple different sections. Definitely look in the men's section. Like I mentioned in my last video, everyone knows to look in the men's section, but what a lot of people don't know is to look in the kids section. So a lot of the time, kids size like 14, 16 and 18 shirts can actually fit a size 6 and 8 women's. This is something that I actually need to do a little bit more of. Yeah, you can end up finding things that do fit you in the kids section if you are a little bit of a smaller size. And just take your time going through all these different sections as well. Even if you're a man, go to the women's section and look through like the jackets and the shirts and stuff. If you're a female, go through the men's section. I personally like looking at the men's jeans because a lot of the time men have like Levi's jeans that they've got rid of, and like the smaller men's size jeans can fit women. And again, I like looking through the men's t-shirts and especially their jackets, because men's jackets and sweatpants are always so much warmer than women's ones, and I don't know why. So my next tip is kind of one that I've just started doing as well, but that is if a brand is unfamiliar but the quality feels really good, or like it just looks in really good condition and it looks expensive, research it. But yeah, just sit there in the shop and just research the brand and see how much they retail for. And this is a great way to save money on expensive items that you wouldn't necessarily buy brand new. I did this. I found a pair pair of leather mules in the op shop. I could see it had the little leather emblem on it, but I had no idea about the brand or anything, so I just researched it in the shop, and they were selling the pair of shoes for $4 and they retail for like $150 on sale. So great little tip to learn about brands. This next tip is quite an important one, and that is if you find something in the op shop in like a certain shade or color but it doesn't quite fit you, ask the shop assistant if they have something similar out the back. Obviously if you're good at sewing and you're good at DIYing things, then you can just take things home if they are a little bit big and like take them in yourself. You can get things tailored. I don't mind tailoring like the odd couple of things, but I'm really not good at sewing and I'm not really good at DIY, so it's nice to kind of ask the shop assistant if they've got anything similar out the back. I actually did this quite recently. I found a pair of Levi's that I really liked. They were exactly the shade of denim that I was after. They were just a little bit too small for me and they couldn't button up, so I asked the shop assistant if she had any Levi's out the back in a similar wash of denim, and she ended up bringing a few pairs out, and I actually found the pair of Levi's that I ended up buying that weren't on the shop floor because she was holding them out the back. So in a very similar wash of denim to the ones that I had tried on, and I also managed to find my best friend a Levi's denim jacket doing it that way because it wasn't out on the shop floor, but the shop assistant had them out the back. So sometimes you just gotta ask, and you won't know unless you ask. And I think if they know that you're going to spend money on an item, they're more willing to go out the back and look for you. My next couple of tips are to do with shoes. So the first one to do with shoes is to not be afraid of buying secondhand shoes. I know so many people that are like, I feel weird about buying secondhand shoes, I don't want to touch the secondhand shoes, I don't want to go near them. But guys, you can clean shoes. Like if they're fabric shoes, you can just chuck them in the wash and you're good to go. You can get little like white restorers, you can get black shoe polish if they're a little bit dirty, you can get antibacterial wipes and just wipe them out and just clean them. Or if they're sneakers or boots, just wear them with socks and it's fine. I have literally bought so many pairs of shoes secondhand and I have never had any problems with my feet, have never had any infections or anything. I love looking at the shoes. The shoes and the bags are like my two favorite sections to go to in the op shops, and I know that like when I went with my best friend, she felt a little bit weird about buying secondhand shoes, but she ended up wearing one pair with socks and she's fine with it, and then the other pair were a pair of Converse that she just chucked in the wash. And then my last tip to do with shoes is to always check if a shoe is a men's or a woman's size. So I would have almost missed out on a pair of Converse if I didn't just try the shoes on, because I found a pair of Converse and on the bottom of them they said size 5. Now I am not a size 5, I am a size 7. However, I tried them on just in case and they ended up fitting me and I was really shocked. Got home, looked at the tag and realized that they're actually a men's size 5, which is equivalent to a woman's size 7. So if you like a pair of shoes, always double check whether they are a men's or a women's shoe, because sometimes you could end up missing out on a shoe that you don't think will fit you when it actually will. My next tip is to don't expect to find things quickly. So sometimes it takes a while to find things in an op shop. Sometimes you won't find anything at all, and that is okay. I think a big misconception people have is that if they don't find something straight away, then they're failing or they're doing it wrong. But that is not the case. You know, I've been into op shops. I spent like a whole afternoon one time going op shopping and I didn't find a single thing. And that is okay, because sometimes there just isn't stuff to find. Sometimes you just don't like the things that are in there. The good things sometimes take a really long time to find, and I think that's why it's really important to take your time, because a lot of the time, again, if you rush look through things, you don't find the good things. Some days I'll go into an op shop and I won't find anything, and then I'll go into another op shop and I'll find a whole heap, and then I'll go into another one and I might find like one thing or two things, and then I'll go into another op shop and I'll find like 5. So sometimes it's just really kind of what they've got and what their stock is like, how big the op shop is as well, how much stock they can actually take. Always do a brief swoop over all of the sections that you have looked in. This is really important to do. It's really important to do this before you pay, because people are constantly like trying things on and putting things back on the racks. staff potentially might be bringing things out and placing them around the store. So I do think it's really important to always go back through and just have like a really quick look before you pay, just to make sure you don't miss anything. I have found so many things by doing this. I found a couple of tops a couple of weeks ago by doing this. I found a Gucci sunglasses case by just going through and having one more look at things. The way I op shop is I will start off in a section, I'll have a really good look through it, and then I'll move on to a different section, and then yeah, just before I pay and leave, I'll go back over every section that I've looked in and just give it another flick through. So sometimes you are seeing the same thing twice, but again, sometimes new things are there. It is time consuming, but it's very, very crucial. Look at the rack near the changing rooms. So this may or may not apply depending what op shop you go to, but some op shops, they have a rack next to the changing rooms where people can just hang stuff up that they've tried on that may not have fit them or that they didn't like. And sometimes the staff will take the things on that rack and they'll put them back, but sometimes they just end up staying there for a really long time until the rack gets like full, and then the staff will move it. So definitely have a look in this rack, because you can end up finding things that other people may not have liked but that you really like, and it's kind of like the work's already done for you because people have already gone through and hunted for those different things, and then it just hasn't worked for them. And also, if you end up liking things on the rack, it's less things for the staff to have to put back. This next tip, again, I have only just started doing recently, but that is to look in the pajama section for anything satin or any like lace, like camisoles. If you're really after a slip dress, go to the PJ section and have a look, because a lot of the time staff get confused between like nightgowns and like nighties and slip dresses, and a lot of the time the more like delicate kind of pieces tend to get put in like the PJ or even the lingerie section as well. Definitely don't be afraid of the lingerie section if you are trying to look for like camisoles and slip dresses. Obviously secondhand underwear I don't really buy. I'll buy the occasional bra, but like underwear I don't go near. Dig for things. Don't be afraid to make a mess on the shop floor. A lot of the time op shops just chuck a whole lot of things in a massive bin. Actually just sit there and just pull things out, make a little pile next to you of things that aren't quite right, just so that you can actually have a decent look at things. Just make sure you clean up after yourself, because otherwise that's just more work for the shop assistant to have to do, and that's just not nice. So again, I have found a lot of things by actually digging for them. A lot of the hidden gems won't just be sitting right on the top, and again, people can hide things if they don't have the money for it but they want to go back in a couple days and buy it. That's how I found my black Supergas, by actually digging for them. It's how I found my Tommy Hilfiger sports bra. And then my last tip is, if you see something you like, buy it. Do not wait on it. Don't say, oh, I'm just gonna think about it and come back in a couple days, because a lot of the time things in the op shop, they just go like that. It's really important that if you see something you like, to grab it, because even especially if the op shop is busy, someone else could end up coming around and taking that item. If you've only just started op shopping and you're finding you're carrying quite a lot, you can always ask the shop assistant if they can store some of your things behind the counter just while you go and have a look. That happened to me recently. I was carrying 2 Levi's jackets, a pair of Levi's jeans, a pair of shoes, my cake topper. I just had a whole heap of things that I was carrying, and the shop assistant ended up putting them behind the counter so that they were all nice and safe, that I still had my hands free to be able to go around and browse. And don't just like give up once your hands are full and like, oh, I can't look at anything else, I have to go and buy. That's a good thing about op shops, is that a lot of the time they're really cheap. So if you spend $2 on an item and you get home you don't really like it, it's just $2. So there we go, guys. Those are all of the tips that I have this time around for op shopping. I feel like these ones are definitely a lot more in depth compared to my last ones. I absolutely love thrifting. I think it's such a great way of being environmentally friendly. It's a great way of sustainable shopping, and it's a great way to try out new trends and new styles without breaking the bank. And you can end up finding a lot of like unique pieces that you wouldn't necessarily see on the street. I absolutely love it. It's so much fun. I have gotten a lot of like my friends onto op shopping as well. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video and you found these tips helpful, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Like I said, I have done one of these before, so that video will be linked down below. I have done a whole heap of thrifting related videos as well on my channel, so I'll leave that playlist down below and in the eye, whichever side it is on. I do plan to do another thrift with me around Auckland City very soon. Let me know in the comments as well if I have missed any tips that you guys have when you're op shopping. Let me know what was a tip that kind of surprised you or that you do, and if you are going to op shop after watching this video, then let me know as well. I have done a video of all of my like top thrifted purchases as well, so if you do want to go and watch that video, I'll leave that down below and in the eye as well. I'm gonna go and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. Oh my gosh, it's just started raining. Can you guys hear the rain? Oh my gosh. It's so loud.